Oh yeah, hey, what's up? Just to lay this down on you, the actual reason that Jesus went to hell was what I said before, but also it had to do with when he was in heaven and he knew that he was have to go to he didn't have to come, but he chose to come to earth. Heavenly Father said, "Well, my son, when man kills you, I'm gonna bring you back up here." Jesus said, no, 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 no. If I am to be equal with my brothers and sisters, yeah, Jesus is our older brother up there. He said, Heavenly Father, no, send me to hell. Send me where all my younger brothers and sisters go. To hell. Don't give me no favoritism. Send me right down there. So when Jesus died from the cross, he went to the hell part of eternity. Had to, forgive man for killing him, which he did very easily. And the reason that Buddha and Confucius had to go down there was because although God knew that Buddha and Confucius, and I'm not really sure what other wise teachers went down there, but the only reason they had to go down there was simply because they had to show God that they practice what they preach. And they did, and that's how they got out the catacombs quickly. And yeah, I forgot to mention catacombs means it means mass graves, but it also means sudden death or instant death or hallucination. And when I say that when you go to the catacombs, you have to go in a room and see a visual of the life that you ruined, or like the room turns into a visual of whatever you didn't get right. Okay, say for example, you made a baby with somebody, but you abandoned the person. The person, the illusion of that person is stuck in your mind. So when you go into the catacomb, that person's in your mind in the catacomb. So you see that person, and it haunts you till you say, "I'm sorry. I wish I could have been there to raise our son or daughter. I'm sorry. Can you forgive me?" And then the illusion says, "Yeah, it's okay." Or if he wasn't there for your children and their lives got ruined because of it, you have to go down to the catacombs and make it right with them. Anything you do on Earth that you don't get right on Earth, you have to go down to the catacombs to fix it. The longer it takes to get the longer you take to get through the catacombs, the longer you take to get to heaven. And the catacombs is just a segue to get there. Yeah. And Buddha and Confucius actually went down there so that they could see, what people really felt about them, and to see could they truly forgive it, could they truly let it go, could they truly rise above it, could they truly understand it, you know what I'm saying? And when I said that God's ways are above your ways, Jesus' ways are above man's ways, simply means if you as a person don't want to forgive someone's wrongs, Jesus will teach you how to forgive, even though you don't want to learn. But once you forgive, trust me, it feels better. Jesus will teach you how to love, but he won't force you to love or forgive. He'll teach you, and you'll eventually learn how to do it. Doesn't mean you're going to always like it, but the more you do it, the less you feel guilty to do it, or the less you feel pressure. Also, God. You see small picture of life. God sees the whole thing, meaning someone's doing something to you. You only see the person doing it to you. God sees why they do it. You see that person messing with you. God sees why it's actually happening. That's why he can forgive it, because he sees what caused it to be in the first place. And Jesus, same thing. He sees he sees why they're messing with you. He sees why it happens. He don't like it, but that's something that one thing about being on earth is you can't be down here without problems. Unfortunately, you can't. And when God sees this happening, he's gonna teach you how to forgive it, and he's gonna show you how to deal with it. So that way, you learn. So when you go to be judged, Satan can't hold nothing against you. He can't say you didn't do right by people. He can't say you didn't forgive, you didn't love, you didn't teach, you didn't uplift fallen humanity. He can't say none of that. But just know, the more wrong you do down here, when it's time for your judgment day, you're giving Satan more ammo to keep you out of heaven. Then you might have to come right back down here, do this whole thing over again, go back up there, get judged again. Just keep redoing your life until you get it right so you can get into heaven. And unfortunately, Satan will keep bringing things up that you did wrong. God will try to reason it. Satan will try to make you look guilty. Jesus is like, hold up, I need to say something to try to defend you. But all the good you do is recorded up above you. All the evil you do is recorded down below. So just make sure that your good outweighs your evil and your good. Your evil outweighs your good, you got a problem. Either make the evil less, make the good more, or try to balance it out, but try to keep the good up here, the evil down here. Just try. Trust me, the one thing you don't want to do is get up to the gates and hit a and it ain't God, it ain't Jesus, it's something spiritually you ain't got done right, and the gates got to reject you because of it. Gates can't let you in heaven if you're not ready for it. Sad, but it is what it is. Okay. And also, just want to put this out there. To those people that wonder, and they really deeply wonder, is God ever gonna fix this ruined world? Is he ever gonna make things right? Here's the thing. God gives everything on earth a time period. For example, the Jurassic period, he moved that out the way. The what is it called? The period with the cavemen. I think it was the Neanderthal period. Moved that out the way. Our period. Moved that out the way, and then let the future keep happening. There's going to be a time where he's going to take us back up there and give this world back to the animals which it belonged to in the first place. Let me ask you this question. And my boy Eddie Griffin said this perfectly. You ever notice everything in humanity has a way it has to happen, or else it's not regular? He said, you want to know where aliens are and if they exist? Look in the mirror, because it's you. Everything on earth has to do what it's supposed to do, or it's not what it's made to be. For example, a tree has to grow, it ain't a tree. A fish got to swim, or it ain't a fish. A bird has to fly, or it's not a bird. A dog has to bark, or it's not a dog. A cat has to meow, or it's not a cat. Person don't have to do nothing, and you're still a person. You don't have to do nothing all day, every day, and you're still human. Lion don't roar, it ain't a lion. A tiger don't growl, it ain't a tiger. Man is the only alien because we're the only thing that doesn't fit in. We can change the ecosystem, but the ecosystem can't change us. We can adapt to anything. Everything else has to adapt to what it's born from. Sad, but real. And just so you know also, back when the pyramids were built, those were not aliens. Those were, call me crazy, angelic beings of light that came down and took the forms of alien beings and taught man how to maneuver big blocks and taught him how to push the pyramids into place, and boom, pyramid. Who built the pyramids? Negroes. Why? Because white people's skin couldn't handle that type of heat, so it was niggas. And just so you know, the kings and queens of Egypt were niggas. And since a lot of white people think they're superior to a black man or woman, here's one historical fact. You think that white people own this land? Technically, this land belongs to Native Americans and Indians and Mexicans and a lot of other people. There was an actual time when a white person wanted to come to Africa, they had to get permission from the African king and the queen. Then when they came to our lands, they had to bow to the king and the queen. Like I said, racism does not need to exist. Period. No one needs to be hating no one. If you don't know the history, stop hating. Even if you do know the history, stop hating. Everyone had a period where they ruled over somebody. It happens. That's life. But anyway, the king and the queen of Africa were black. Yes, white people, when they came to Africa, they had to bow to the king and the queen, who were Negroes. Just gonna throw it out there. Just gonna throw it out there. And to be perfectly honest with you, superiority that's not real. People just got this mindset where they like to be in charge or above. It ain't real. Stop. Okay, what's something else I was gonna say? What's something else I was gonna. What's the other thing? Something. Okay. I'm gonna just turn this off. It'll come